girlies, and welcome back to the pod. Today we are talking all about that girl habits and routines and kind of the reality of it, because in case you don't know what it is, there's been a trend that's been going around for a few months, I think, and it's all about kind of achieving this certain model for life. Pretty much it's about like how you can be your best, healthiest self, look your best, feel your best. But it seems like some people are taking it to extremes. We're going to be chatting all about that, so stay tuned. But first, we're going to do some best and worst of the week, because why not? So my worst of the week was definitely related to a college issue. I think this is so ridiculous, but I'll tell the story. So on Monday, one of my friends had asked me if I had submitted my test scores to a certain school that isn't on the Common app. So she was wondering if I had, so I went and I checked. And I noticed on their application page that it said my application had been withdrawn. So of course I'm like, what the heck? Because obviously I didn't withdraw it. Obviously I want to apply to the school, and it actually is my top choice. So that was a bit of like a panic moment for me. So I called my mom, and I was freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, Mom, you need to call this number because I'm at school all day and I'm not going to be able to call them. And she was like, no. And that just made me more anxious, because she was like, no, Carmen, you need to do this. I was like, okay, fine. But also that was stressing me out. And so then during lunch, because that was the only free time I had all day, during lunch I called the admissions office and I was like, hello, blah, blah, blah. My application says it's withdrawn. Can you reinstate it? I don't want my application to be withdrawn. I want to apply. They're like, okay, we'll put you on hold. I was on hold for like 4 minutes. Keep in mind, I'm literally sitting in my car in the parking lot, and I was shaking, and I was literally so nervous, because I was like, what if I can't even apply to the school? What if they're not going to let me still do early action? What if I'm going to have to do regular? What if I can't even like resubmit my thing or whatever? It ended up being fine, but it was still like major panic. And so then the person on the phone comes back off of hold, and he's like, thanks for the wait. And then he told me, okay, it's going to take 2 to 3 business days. And if your application is still saying it was withdrawn, then you need to call back on Thursday. So every day from Monday to Thursday, I'm checking on their application page, looking at it. It still says it's withdrawn. So it's Thursday morning. I have Spanish first hour. I'm sitting in Spanish. I literally feel so sick because I was so anxious. And right after Spanish, I sat in the hallway and I called the admissions office, and they pretty much told me the same thing. They were like, okay, wait, we're going to put you on hold. Put me on hold. And then this lady told me, hi, just so you know, this isn't an issue we can solve over the phone. You actually need to email us. Girl, why couldn't someone have told me that on Monday, right? And so I was like, okay, whatever, thanks, because that's fine. I'm just trying to fix it. So I ended up emailing them. I sent a very lengthy email explaining why I thought it said it was withdrawn and that I didn't mean to have it withdrawn, and how it just all really didn't make much sense to me. And I sent that, and I like CC'd my college counselor and my mom, and they both saw it. And then I went and I sat with my college counselor in the morning, and he then called the admissions office. So this was now the 3rd time we had called, and he had explained everything that I had done. I had called twice, what people were telling me, and then he was asking, is there anything else we can do? So then the admissions office was like, okay, we'll flag the email she sent so it gets solved quicker. And I was like, okay, great, thank you. So that made me feel better. And then I checked my phone a few hours ago, and now my application has been reinstated. So that's good, because I do really want to go to the school. This was very annoying, I will say, this week though, like having to deal with this put me in like a minor panic mode. It was very stressful, I will say. There were some tears. Yeah, but it ended up being fine. Everything I need to submit is submitted for that school, so hopefully it'll all be okay, and maybe I'll get in. I don't know. We'll see on December 15th, though, which is, in fact, 3 days before my birthday, December 18th. It's my golden birthday, turning 18 on the 18th, which is exciting. So if I don't get in, that could be kind of sad. I think that's also the week I have finals. So I hear back from maybe, I think, 3 schools that I did early action. I hear back from 3 schools. I have finals, and then it's my birthday, and my sister and my brother are coming home. And then I'm going to Miami. I'm excited. So should be a fun, busy time. But, we'll see. Trying to stay positive about that. I'm just glad that it's not still saying it was withdrawn, because that was so friggin' stressful. But otherwise, I feel like my week was pretty good. I will say, on Monday, I had an academic team meet, right? I am a part of academic team. Yes, I don't know why. It's really strange, but that's okay. We are currently on a 3-game losing streak, which is just really embarrassing. It's just very embarrassing and kind of like how I don't know. But the school we went to earlier this week, literally, their library was so nice. It was this random public school in Frankfort, Kentucky. It was so nice, and we were all sitting there coming from our private school, and we were like, our school should take notes. Like, it is nice in here. LOL, my school is so ratchet, I will say. It's very old, and there's one patch of grass. And it's in the middle of downtown, so there's a bunch of homeless people and sometimes some sketchy things going on with, like, drugs and, like, people who walk around who are obviously aren't mentally stable and that'll walk up to you. Or I've had people ask me for money in the parking lot. So that's been fun. Love life. But I will say the good thing about academic team is that I did end up participating in the social studies section. And guess what, guys? I got a question right. I buzzed in. And I'll tell you what the question is, because it was so stupid and everyone was sitting there like they didn't know. So I was like, okay, I'll just guess. The question was, which coast of the United States is known for rocky and short beaches? And then I buzzed in. I was like, West Coast. And she was like, yes. And then I got my team a point. And did I actually know? Not really, but I was thinking about, like, the beaches I know on the East Coast, and they're all really long and flat. And then on the West Coast, I have friends who live in California, and they talk about going on beach hikes and with the tide and how the beaches are really short, so you can only walk at certain times because of the tide and rocks. So I was like, definitely West Coast. And I got the point, and I was kind of proud of myself, so yay, go me. And then also, tomorrow, I'm leaving to go out of town. I'm missing school. It's Thursday right now, so I'm missing school on Friday. And I'm going to a football game at my siblings' school. Or not at their school, but it's a game for their school. I don't know. It's this, like, really big rivalry. I think it's, like, the 120th game or whatever. But everyone gets really into it, and I'm so excited because my outfit is so cute. So stay tuned for an Instagram pic, either on my podcast or my regular Instagram. I don't know. Maybe I'll post it on both because why not? But I'm really excited. I have to miss so much work, though. I swear, whenever I'm gone from school, I have a week's worth of stuff, but then whenever I'm there, nothing. I do nothing. It really doesn't make sense to me. And then on Saturday, that's when the actual game is, but we're driving up on Friday, so tomorrow, so I'll probably have to do homework in the car. And then on Sunday, we have to take my siblings back to their school because the school that the game is at, I think, might be 2 hours away from their school. And then we're going to drive them back. And then we have to drive home. So apparently I'm not getting home until, like, midnight, which I just found about an hour or two, which is why I'm recording on a Thursday, when usually I wouldn't record till the weekend. But hey, I'm not about to record at 1 a.m. Absolutely not. That's going to be a no for me. No for me. But oh well, I think it should be fun. I'm excited to see my sister, and I don't know how long I'll be, like, where her school is, like, how long I'll be there, but I mean, we'll see. But again, stay tuned for the Instagram picture. Another thing about this week, I don't know what was going on, the vibe, but all of my friends were like having just issues. And I was the therapist of the week, I will say. I think I had like three different times during this week where I was sitting with someone for an hour or a little over an hour, and they were just venting to me or just telling me their issues, and I literally felt like a therapist. So I will say I give good therapy sessions, not gonna lie. But yeah.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an online counseling service that is affordable and accessible for everyone. It is not a crisis line or self-help. It is professional counseling done securely online. Their platform will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist, and you can even start communicating in under 48 hours. The counselors are easily accessible, and you can send them a message at any time, along with scheduling weekly video or phone sessions. If you are someone who has been interested in getting help with depression, anxiety, relationships, trauma, family conflicts, or more, then BetterHelp is a great alternative to traditional offline therapy. BetterHelp is also more affordable, and financial aid is available to make their services available to clients worldwide. As always, I want you to start living your best and happiest life, so as a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/girlygirl. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/girlygirl.
But yeah, so that's been pretty much my week. What a time. Literally, what a time. I'm just so excited for Thanksgiving because I'm going to the beach and it's going to be so fun. And I'm going to be with my siblings, and my 2 older siblings are coming as well. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. Very excited. But I just have to get through school. Also, I had a calc test today. And let me just say this. I don't know how we're feeling about that. It was interesting. Yeah, also it's been really disgusting the past few days in Kentucky. It is around 6 p.m. It is pitch black outside and raining. It's so nice. Oh, what a time to be alive. Yep, having the best time over here. I'm just, wow. Life is so fun, right? Okay, but anyway, so we're talking about that girl habits, like how to be that girl if it really is a good thing. But, I mean, we'll see. So, as I said at the beginning of the episode, that girl is a trend. It's like, quote unquote, that girl trend. About how you can, like, live in a healthier way to feel your best and to kind of have your best life, living your best life. I would say that's pretty much it, or at least from what I've understood, but it's been all over TikTok and Pinterest. Like, even if you just search that girl, if you search it on Pinterest, you'll see a bunch of videos about people's workout routines, smoothie recipes, someone's morning routine, stuff like that. It's those vibes. I would call it productive, healthy vibes. It's pretty much what people try to achieve for, but then you always end up kind of falling short, and then you're like, this is stupid, I give up. Or maybe that's just me, I don't know, but oh well. So some of the that girl habits that I have noticed and that I think are in fact positive and good things to do. Actually, wait, I just want to explain this first. But I definitely think there are some toxic things that can come out of like trying to achieve to be quote unquote that girl. But definitely some positive habits about it. But as with most things, if you take it too far, if it's the only thing you're focused on, if you're so centered on it, it might not be as beneficial. So please keep that in mind. I'm not trying to push anything on you. I just think some things can be good. Some things can make your life better. But obviously, not for everyone. If something works for me, it might not work for you. So keep that in mind. But some of the positive that girl habits are eating healthy. So not necessarily starving yourself, obviously. But eating a balanced diet. I definitely have noticed, I feel like this, I'm thinking of one influencer, and I think she kind of goes with this trend. I can never remember her last name though, so I'm gonna butcher it. It's like Emily Mariaco. I don't know what her last name is, but she's the girl who makes all the healthy food and like shows you how to preserve vegetables and made the salmon rice with spicy mayo and put seaweed on it. That girl. Get it? That girl. Haha, so funny of me. But that's what I think of when I think of healthy eating. But her videos are so aesthetic. I do in fact follow her. It makes me feel comforted watching her clean vegetables. I feel like that's so random. But she uses her salad spinner and like stores them. And I didn't even know how to store any of these vegetables. So the more you know, right? Definitely eating healthy is obviously good for you. But again, to a certain extent, if you're craving something, eat it. Okay? Because then if you keep limiting yourself, you're just going to want it more. And then you're going to end up binging on it. And that's going to be the only thing you eat. And then you're going to feel bad about yourself. You know, I know when I personally don't eat my best, if I'm eating a lot of fried food or a lot of sugar, it makes my skin act up. And that definitely has like a correlation with how I feel overall about myself. If my skin's bad, I don't necessarily feel my best. Which is why I try to eat healthier. For me, it's not necessarily about weight or trying to be skinny or whatever. For me, it's more about my skin because obviously I have skin issues. I've talked about that before. That's something that I have struggled with, I think, since I was in 5th grade. So that's a bit of a sore subject for me. So I try to eat healthy. I try to eat less processed foods. But y'all, I'll be honest, literally I ate a whole bag of popcorn last night. So you do you. If you want to eat it, don't starve yourself, because you deserve food. You deserve to eat. And I promise you look great the way you are. So don't try to limit yourself in such a negative way. Okay. Another healthy habit is drinking lots of water. I feel like I talk about this all the time because as most people know, I'm obsessed with my water bottle. I call it like my therapy water bottle. It's my little baby. I like to carry it like a baby, like in the crook of my arm. It's my favorite thing. Besides my Kindle, of course, duh. Can't forget about her. But drinking water is so important. Why, you may ask, Carmen? You're like, I hate drinking water. It doesn't taste like anything. And I don't like it. Well, let me tell you, water is good for you, obviously. It makes you feel better. If you have a headache, it can make your headache go away. It helps when you're feeling sick. It can make you, like, get unsick. What is that called? Like, get healthy again quicker. If you're sick, it helps you heal faster. If your skin is breaking out, it makes your skin look less dull. If you just aren't feeling very good, if you are feeling tired, kind of sleepy, drink water. Pretty much if you're having any life issue. If your boyfriend broke up with you, get a hydro flask, drink water. That's what I did. Okay, guys. Anyways, definitely not speaking from true experiences. That'd be stupid. No, I'm kidding. I actually did do that. Fun story. Funny time. If your dog died, drink water. Literally anything. I mean, obviously not anything, but just drink water and you'll feel better. I promise. I always carry my water bottle with me to school. I have one in my backpack. It's very colorful. It's like blue and pink and purple. It's very pretty. It looks marbled. Kind of obsessed with it. I do also have a hydro flask, but right now it's very dented. Has a lot of ugly stickers on it, and also I think it has mold in it, which didn't bother me for the first 2 years, but now looking back at it, I really don't know if I can drink out of it. And yes, I know you're probably saying, Carmen, why don't you just wash it? See, I could, but I'm lazy, and I like my pretty water bottle right now. And yes, I am that shallow. Thank you. But yes, have a water bottle. Bring one to school. Have one at your bedside table. carry one around with you. I always carry a water bottle whenever I walk around the house. I get made fun of, but it's so good for you. So drink water. If you don't like water, if you don't think it tastes like anything, put one of those flavored things in it, or you could put some fruit, lemon. What else goes in water? I don't know. Those flavoring things, fruit, whatever you want. You can drink flavored water, sparkling water. Personally, I'm not a big fan of flavored or sparkling water. I kind of think they're gross. But if you like that, go ahead. Try it out. I know one of my good friends is obsessed with hint water, which I think the point of it is that it's water with a hint of fruit flavor. Personally, I don't know how I feel about it, but he likes it, so you could try that. You can just try, I think, maybe Dasani has sparkling water. I swear there's something in their water, maybe salt, that just dries your mouth out and it keeps your tongue dry. If you know, you know. It's bad. Okay. Another that girl habit that I think is positive to a certain extent is working out. Now, I can't really speak to this one considering I haven't worked out willingly in 2 years. I was forced to work out over spring break with my uncle. That was horrible. Never again, please and thank you. So, I don't know how well I can speak about working out. People always ask me, they're like, Carmen, what's your workout routine? Carmen, well, you should do a workout episode. And see, I would. I really would if I enjoyed it or if I actually did it. But the thing is, neither really applies to me. I don't enjoy it and I don't really do it. But I do know friends who love working out and it's great and it's good for them. But also, again, to a certain extent. Because if you're working out all the time 24/7 and you're just so focused on being skinny or getting ripped, whatever your goal might be, getting a big butt, I don't know. I feel like that's not beneficial because it can definitely fuel eating disorders and definitely make you not feel your best about yourself, and that's not great. And we don't really like that. And you don't really want to be fueling that. So that's why I think working out is good to a certain extent, but you kind of have to keep yourself in check because if you notice that you're only going just so you can feel skinny, maybe rethink why you should go to the gym because you're perfect the way you are. And I feel like just doing something just to be skinny might not be the best motivation. Especially if you're starving yourself and working out all the time and just so focused on one goal. Because what you should be focused on is how you can feel your best. Because when you feel better, you feel better about how you look, your appearance. You feel confident in yourself and like your actual body. And it's not just like you're trying to change things so you can feel a certain way or so you can look like someone you saw online or on Instagram, whatever. So definitely keep that in mind. I think that's super important. Another that girl habit that I definitely love and is probably my favorite is the importance of skincare. As I said earlier, I have struggled with my skin since 5th grade. I've had to go on antibiotics. I've had to go on Accutane. I'm currently taking a medicine for my skin and I've done Curology. I've used like those brushes. I don't know what they're called, like Clarisonic brushes. I've used drugstore stuff. I've used stuff from the dermatologist. Pretty much I've done everything you probably could possibly imagine. I've had facials, whatever. So I definitely know the importance of skincare and how hard it can be to have clear skin, especially if you're someone who has acne prone, oily skin. That used to be me, but currently right now my skin changes each season. It's super fun just like not knowing and you just kind of figure out, you're like, oh, my skin's dry today. Oh, no, she's not. She's oily. It's great. It's great to just wake up and know. I would say right now though, in this stage in my life, I have sensitive combination acne prone skin. Combination meaning some parts of my face are oily while other parts are dry / normal. I used to definitely have just all oily skin. It was bad. But yeah, I definitely still do have acne prone skin. I still do get breakouts, which I think is normal. Everyone gets breakouts, especially if you're a teenager. That's no big thing. Obviously, it can make you feel not so great about yourself, especially if you wake up and you have a big important thing to do, and like an interview, college interview, or maybe you're going on a date and you have like a giant pimple. You're like, oh my god, I'm so ugly. But that's not the case. No one really notices or cares, and also makeup exists. So if you're really not feeling it, put on makeup, but I promise you, no one really notices except for you. But I think skincare is so important just because it's kind of being proactive. Because in my mind, I think some people use makeup just to cover things up. For me personally, I use makeup if I'm not feeling my best and I need a little pick-me-up so I can be like, oh my god, who's she? She's so hot, because why not? And I know some people who only use makeup just because they really don't feel great about themselves and they don't know how to go out without makeup. I was actually talking to a group of sophomore girls and they were talking about how they were so shocked how I never wore makeup to school. And they were asking me, they were like, how do you do it? How can you deal with that? And they were like, I would never feel good about myself if I didn't leave the house with makeup. And that just kind of shocked me because I just felt really sad, I think, because seeing younger girls who don't feel confident in themselves and only feel like they can wear makeups, also especially during COVID when you have to wear a mask and the makeup gets everywhere, I don't know, I felt kind of bad and sad for them. So I want to let you know, you don't need to use makeup to cover up everything. You're beautiful. And if you use skincare, you won't really have to cover up that many things because taking care of your skin is so important. And obviously having a little skincare routine, going back to eating healthy, eating less processed foods, less fried stuff, sugar. I know for me, my skin has recently been breaking out a lot because I literally had fried chicken for maybe just a week straight. I don't know what was going on, but I had Cane's, I had Chick-fil-A. I went out to eat and I got fried chicken. I was on it. I was obsessed with fried chicken. It's so good. I will say it is so good. But maybe for me personally, I shouldn't eat it every day just because it makes my skin go a little crazy. And I don't necessarily want to have to deal with that, if you feel me. So skincare, again, it's not just about what you're putting on your skin on the outside. It's also about your diet, how much water you're drinking. Going back to water, drink more water, your skin's gonna look better. So keep that in mind. For me right now, I've been using Curology. I didn't do it for a month and then I started back up again and my face immediately broke out a bunch. So that might not be the best thing for me right now. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And then I am taking some medicine for my skin just because I have really bad hormonal acne, so I kind of have to control it. And that has been prescribed by my dermatologist. So obviously I'm not just getting random pills, because that is not good or legal. So yeah, skincare is important. Skincare for me personally makes me feel better. I definitely think it is a form of self-care in a way, just because you're taking care of your skin, your neck, whatever, everything connected. And if you aren't feeling your best, you can do a face mask. If you just wash your face, sometimes I just feel better when I wash my face, or just put on moisturizer when I'm getting ready for bed. I'm in the shower, just washing my face. It just feels so nice and it's so relaxing. Feels very peaceful, I guess you could say. But skincare has always been really important for me. I think in the self-care sense and also in the sense that my skin breaks out a lot and I have been passionate about getting clear skin and making myself feel better and really learning how to cope with what do I do if my skin breaks out mentally, and actually like what do I physically need to do to get a breakout to go away, but same time, how do I still feel confident in myself when my skin's kind of freaking out. So that's of course always a good thing to learn. But yeah, skincare, super important. Another that girl habit that is super, super important is positive affirmations. Probably I've heard a bunch about this because obviously people talk about it all the time. But positive affirmations pretty much is like hyping yourself up, telling yourself things that you can do, things that you're good at, rather than saying everything you can't do or constantly talking down to yourself and being like, oh my gosh, I suck. I'm never going to be able to do this. But it's more like, wow, I'm beautiful. I'm so smart. I'm so funny. All my friends love me. Whatever you want to say to yourself. Maybe I have good fashion sense. I'm really good at painting my nails. I can read books super fast. I don't know, complimenting yourself, telling yourself positive things. And I think this is also related to like not talking down to yourself and being kind to yourself. Because the nicer you are to yourself, the nicer you can be to others. Because if you aren't nice to yourself, then how are you going to be genuinely kind to others and really appreciate them? Because I know if I'm not feeling my best, if I'm bringing myself down and like kind of diminishing what I've accomplished and things that I've done, then I feel more insecure about myself. And then I can't necessarily bring people up and be happy for what they've accomplished. And I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that friend who's always trying to one up someone else, who's always trying to be better than someone else, because that just sounds really difficult and time consuming and a waste of my energy. I'd rather focus more on hyping my friends up, telling them, wow, you're so great at this. I'm so proud of you, than being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she did this. Now I'm going to have to do better on X, Y, or Z, because that's just not in my personality. I really am not the most competitive person. I would say I'm competitive to a certain extent, but I can definitely appreciate other people's successes, which I think is important, because you don't want to be friends with someone if they're constantly talking down to you or they make you feel uncomfortable if you accomplish something. Because I know I wouldn't want to be friends with someone who I would be like afraid to tell them about something that I accomplished for fear of them getting jealous or for fear of them being upset with me, because I have had to deal with that, and honestly it sucks. It really does, and it kind of just makes you feel really down about yourself as well, because obviously this person who's being rude is like not feeling the best about themselves. They're probably low self-confidence, low self-esteem for whatever reason. So they're trying to bring you down to their level, which is hard. It's really hard to see a friend go through that, and also hard to be taken on that journey with them. So I think positive affirmations are important, again, for yourself to feel better about yourself. Also just to be kinder to other people in general. If you feel better about yourself, you're going to feel better about other people's accomplishments and really be able to appreciate them and not feel them as much as a threat. Because I think that's very possible, especially, I know I've talked about this like with college applications right now. I have so many people applying to the same schools that I'm applying to, which can be stressful because obviously that creates comparison. But I know at the end of the day, I should be happy for someone who gets into a school that I wanted to go to, even if I necessarily didn't get in, because they deserved it. Maybe I did too, but I'm not going to let their success kind of drag on me, because I think especially for colleges, like I'll get into the right school, I'll end up at the right place, but then also at the same time, I'll be fine wherever I go. And I think I can make anything work, really, if I'm being honest. So I'm not that worried about it, but I think you should keep that in mind. Positive affirmations, very important. Definitely helps with less comparison, just because you'll feel overall more confident in yourself, more confident in your abilities, how you look, how you just feel, and how you interact with other people. Another that girl habit is kind of related to what I've already been saying, but that's just being kind to yourself and others. And again, you need to be kind to yourself first before you can really be kind to others. It's kind of like love yourself first before you love other people, which I think is also another thing that's important, because if you don't love yourself, then how are you going to love someone else correctly and with the right amount of enthusiasm and effort, if you know what I'm saying? But be kind to yourself. Don't talk down to yourself. Obviously, if you're upset with something, it can be easy to say, oh my gosh, you suck. Like if you failed a math test, oh my gosh, you're so stupid. How could you do that? You're going to fail. You're not going to go to college. You're not going to get a job, whatever. It can just kind of spiral down into this, oh my gosh, my life is over type of sequence, which really it's not, and you don't suck. Just because you mess up or maybe you fail at something doesn't mean you're a bad person. Doesn't mean that you're stupid. It doesn't mean you're dumb. It doesn't mean any of these things. It just means that you're real. You're human. You're allowed to mess up. You're allowed to have mistakes. And that is totally valid. I think people need to remember that. Of course, you can be upset with yourself if you fail. Of course, you can be upset if you make a mistake. But that doesn't mean that it should inhibit you from trying new things or from trying different types of activities just because, oh, I failed at that. Oh, then maybe I should stay back from something else. No, you shouldn't. So be kind to yourself so you can be kind to others. You want to be someone that people talk about, but like in a positive way. They're like, oh my gosh, Carmen is so nice. Or, oh, she's been so helpful, whatever. You want people to say positive things just so you can like have a positive impact in the world. Obviously, it doesn't necessarily matter what people really say about you. But if you're someone who's always negative, other people will notice, and most people don't want to be hanging around someone who's negative all the time or who makes other people feel bad, because we're all trying to be with people who bring us up. And if you're trying to bring everyone down, you're not going to be fun to be around. And I'll be honest, no one wants to be around that. So be kind to other people. Be kind to yourself. Another that girl habit, which pretty much inhibits everything else that I've talked about, is just the overall idea of self-care. Being kind to yourself, doing things that you love, doing things that make you personally feel good. And obviously this would differ from person to person. For me personally, I like to go on walks. I like to hike. I like to read books. I like to be with my dog, sit in silence. Yes, I like yoga. And I like doing skincare. And those are things that I like. Obviously, it wouldn't be the same for you. Maybe you really like baking. Maybe you think baking is therapeutic. I wish that was me. But when I bake, it becomes a mess and stress. And it's just very overwhelming. I love to eat. I do. I don't love to bake, though. And I'm not very good at it. So keep in mind, self-care, super, super important. And you can be, I guess, the iconic that girl, whatever. But again, only to a certain extent, because obviously you don't want to get into doing these habits where they become toxic, where you just keep thinking, oh my gosh, I have to be this, I have to do this, because I don't think that's true. So some of the that girl routines are just like waking up early, being productive. I know probably y'all have seen the day in my life videos where people show them it's like waking up at 5:45, them going to work out, eating a healthy smoothie and avocado toast, and then going to work and doing stuff for law school, and then going to bed at 8 p.m. or whatever. All these types of things. Well, yes, that may be great. May be good on some days. Obviously, you can't do that every day. You're allowed to be lazy. That's perfectly normal. You're allowed to have breaks. Perfectly normal. So, I don't think you should let the idea of a quote-unquote perfect day get in the way of you actually taking necessary time for yourself, because obviously you can't be productive 100% of the time, because then you're just going to burn out. I have to tell my sister this all the time. She actually texted me last night It was like at 11:30, and she was like, I'm so tired. I have so much homework to do. And the thing is, if you don't take a break, you're not going to be productive, and your tasks that you have to do are going to end up taking you longer. So then you're going to spend more time on it. So just go to bed. Do it in the morning. Do it during a study hall, okay? Like, don't just force yourself to stay up and to do these things just so you can say you were productive, or don't plan stuff out during your day so you can be busy, because busy does not equal productive, y'all. Productive, whatever. Productive and busy, not the same thing, and I think that's another important thing to point out. And I just want to say, the reality of being, quote unquote, that girl is not necessarily true 100% of the time. You might feel your best, like you're rocking, you're hot, you're smart, you're funny, everyone loves you one day, and then the next day, just not feeling it. And that's okay, because we all don't feel perfect 100% of the time, and that's totally fine. And also, I think it's important to remember that a healthy lifestyle for someone you see on the internet doesn't necessarily equal a healthy style for you in real life, because we all have different bodies, we all have different needs, and what works for me may not work for you. And I think that's something also important to remember. Just because you see it on the internet doesn't necessarily mean that's the best way for you to live your life. So definitely remember that, y'all. And also, main important thing, if you're doing a habit, if you have a routine and it's getting toxic, stop, okay? Because if you have a toxic relationship with something, person, a habit, an activity, it's not worth keeping it going. You deserve better. So keep that in mind. If it's toxic, stop if you can. If not, try talking to someone, whether they're a professional, whether it's a friend. And yeah. Also, y'all, relating to that, make sure you try BetterHelp using the link in my bio, and you can see the code to get a discount that is also down there. And by bio, I mean the show notes / description of the episode. I don't know why I said bio. That is not what I meant. And then also make sure you follow me at the Girly Girl podcast so you can see more from me throughout the week, get updates on episodes, sneak peeks about what's going to be coming up, see me throughout the week, or follow just so you can see the outfit that I'm wearing to the football game, because I know everyone wants to see that, obviously. So definitely follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and also make sure you leave a review on Apple Podcasts, and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. And again, thank y'all so much for listening. I hope you have the best day and live your best life, whether it's following the that girl habits and routines, or if it's just being you. You're perfect the way you are. So I hope you have an amazing week. Bye, y'all.